Hi, welcome to NAMM 2013. I'm Brian Lancer from Muse Research. I'm with Brendan Milburn and Valerie Vigoda.
Hello.
Performing here at the show as Milburn and Vigoda. They're also part of the pop group Groovily, and they're going to show us how the Muse Box and the Receptor VIP works. They'll be in the PV booth this weekend, and they're going to be performing a little later today, but we have a special demo just for you today, right now. So here we have the Muse Box. The Muse Box is a joint venture between Muse Research and PV Electronics. It gives you over $900 of software. That includes all sorts of effects, vocal processing, pianos, organs, keyboards, synthesizers, all included inside here, ready to go. You just take it out of the box, plug it in, and start making music. The wonderful thing about it is the user interface makes it incredibly easy to make use of the power provided by these software instruments and effects. So we're going to be showing this. Valerie's going to be playing her violin through it, and you'll hear what can happen when just plugging in a violin. We also have at the show our award-winning Receptor VIP, which is kind of the big brother to the Muse Box. It also comes with $900 of software built into it, but it has 16 channels and a bigger processor in it, so it's capable of doing more. New at the show is the Receptor Quattro. This is our new top-of-the-line product. It has a quad-core processor in it with a 2 terabyte hard drive, a 64-bit OS, and it comes bundled with the PreSonus 1818 interface, so you can have multiple channels of audio in, multiple channels of audio out. You could really run your whole band through the Receptor now, thanks to the inclusion of a PreSonus 1818 interface. Missing from this demonstration is the Receptor Trio that fits in between the two. It's kind of a lower cost version of the Receptor Quattro, not quite as much processing power, a little smaller hard drive and RAM, but still it is a full-on Receptor with the 64-bit OS and just a wonderful runner. So what we're going to do now is Valerie's going to be playing through the Muse Box, and Brendan is going to show the graphical user interface that's in all our products and how you can easily control it, either using MIDI messages. He's going to be using a mouse, and you can hear some of the different sounds that are possible with this amazing product.
Yes, we're switching over to Camel Space here. We're using the Camel Space pad beater, and I am moving around on the XY pad playing with cutoff and resonance. Val, could you play some low stuff? Play some low stuff. Yeah. When the speakers are big, you can really get some crazy thumping boomingness with this particular filter. It's great. So you take the basic sound of an electric violin and you do some crazy things to it with the Muse Box. And now keep in mind, she could just as easily be doing what I'm doing right now with any XY controller or any two knobs. You can map those with really stupid easy MIDI mapping to any control within this thing. And also keep in mind, we're looking at the screen of a MacBook Pro, but we could just as easily be doing this with no screen at all. All of the processing is coming from that itty-bitty little box running Linux. That itty-bitty little box has no hard drive. That itty little box is very, very good for a quick gig down at your local coffee shop where your daughter just dropped it on the floor. Not that I would advise that, but man. Anyway, that's the Muse Box. It's killer.
So you've been using this for a while, have you?
I've been using the previous top-of-the-line thing, the Receptor Pro Max. We used that for a show that we did in a theater for about 50 concerts, like 8 shows a week for a while. And we were running Contact and Guitar Rig and Ivory too, and we were running, like, making 5 sounds at once from various different places around the stage with radio MIDI, and it was crazy, and it didn't choke. It handled all of it. But it was a little bit intimidating to program it, especially for my wife. So Valerie was really pleased when we got our hands on the Muse Box, brought it home, and saw this dead simple interface. You can put in 2 synth engines, you can put in 2 audio effects, and then you can do 2 more, either insert or send effects. So you could say the capability is limited in comparison to a Receptor. You could also say that you've got 6 crayons to play with and you can draw an amazing picture with them. Like for say a beginner who's like dipping their toe into making great sounds with virtual instruments and virtual effects, this is a great place to start, because you kind of can't go wrong. You know, you can't back yourself in a corner. It's just so easy to use.
It's also just
Let me give you the mic for a second.
to chime in for a moment to say that something that is so visual like this really fosters creativity, rather than, in some cases, I've found that having to go deep into menus on a little box can kind of stop you in your tracks when you're trying to make music, and this really does the opposite. So it's really a wonderful thing.
We were using quite a few different things. I was playing a Nord Stage Compact, which has a pretty good piano sample and a nice organ simulation. It's not as good as playing Ivory, but I'm not about to like bring my laptop to the gig and play Ivory on my laptop and have it crash, or have my laptop get ripped off. Similarly, Valerie's been playing.
I've been using the Eventide Eclipse, which is beautiful and really just creates gorgeous, warm sounds for my violin, but it's one of those impenetrable machines that you just have to go so deep into it that we have not even touched the tip of the iceberg, and I feel like there's so much farther to go, much more quickly, using something like the Muse Box.
At the end of the day, what we really want to be doing is making new stuff. We don't want to be like doing phone calls to tech support and like digging through menus and manuals. I mean, you have to read the fricking manual, but we're more about actually making things. And so it's been such a revelation to make things with this simple interface, and then just put the interface away, bring the box to the gig, and go play.
Thanks so much.